All right, welcome to Heavy Lifts. We have today my friend and my tenant and an awesome dude, Daren Patera. How you doing, Daren?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
It is awesome to have you. And we have a guest host here, Makayla Larson.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, Makayla is my event director for the Space 45th and Cellar 54. And
What was something 54?
Cellar 54.
Cellar
Yeah,
54.
we can talk about that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, I know.
It's like Christmas.
It is like Christmas. Yeah, a lot of things are going to be like Christmas in this podcast. Especially before we led into this, we had a lot of interesting comments and discussions. But Makayla's going to be on to give us, I think, more fun and a better look. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to look at me
She's
the whole podcast, right?
I should have worn a button down.
Class us up a little bit. Let's say that. So thank you.
Yeah.
For you, I wanted to make sure we got this right with your businesses. You are the owner of Rapid Print Solutions.
Yes.
And you are also the owner of Oregon Farm Fresh Snacks.
Yes.
Is that right?
Oregon Farm.
You
Yep.
get that right?
You got that right.
Oh,
That's
no way.
great.
I didn't know
for
that.
two.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and as an owner in 45th Parallel Building, watching you guys, the last 4 years kind of grow and watching your business, I've been intrigued to talk to you. A lot of it is, I want to just know how you and Brian, your partner, operate because you guys are really two cool dudes who
thank you.
have just been I've enjoyed getting to know both of you.
Yeah.
But also on the business side, how everything kind of got going with you guys and whatnot. But I'm going to let Makayla ask the first question as I kind of tee things up and see where she wants to start.
Okay.
Yeah. So before we got started today, you said that you grew up in South Salem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I grew up out off Viewcrest in South Salem. So like Kubler out by Sprague, when you go down Kubler, up Kubler, Viewcrest it turns into up there. So I grew up out in there. And I was born in 1975.
Dang.
So it was a long time ago.
Okay. That is a little long.
ago.
I can actually say I'm younger than you, which is great.
Yeah.
And Makayla,
I can say the same.
She was giving us a hard time about
young.
being, her being the youngest on this podcast.
Right.
And,
Right.
You look good though. I gotta be straight up with you.
Straight with the comment.
I would not.
51 years young.
In July, I'll be 51.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Wow. Yeah, I would not have guessed that. So did you go to school in Salem?
I did. Yeah. I went to Shirley and then I went to Judson and then I went to Sprague. When I was 16, my parents moved us over to Bend. So I finished up at Bend High over there.
What was it like so you started at Sprague, you ended in Bend.
In Bend, yeah.
How was that transition for you, as a kid?
It was good.
Really?
I enjoyed it. Yeah. I had a great time. I did, miss out on finishing school with all the kids. I grew up with a whole group of people that I didn't get to finish with. Yep. But that's, those kind of things happen. I really had a great time in Bend. In fact, the few people that I keep in touch with from my high school days are from Bend after just 1 year of being there. So my parents, we had a second home in Sun River. And so they came home in the summer
jealous.
that I
I'm
turned.
so jealous. I love that place.
When I turned 16 and they were and me and my sister, there was 5 of us kids.
Okay.
And there was just me and my little sister left. And they were like, what if we moved to the Sun River house? And I was like, oh, that'd be great. And so I literally took a laundry basket and threw my golf clubs in the car and drove over and.
So they just kind of threw it out there.
Yeah,
one day.
It was literally like an overnight thing. They came home one day and were like, "What about this?"
Lucky.
So we did.
Wow.
And so then they enrolled me. So there used to be a small private school in Sun River called Sun River Preparatory School. Okay. And if you come in off the north exit of Cottonwood Road, there's a big grocery store there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Called the Other Store.
Yep.
That is now a Catholic church. That used to be the Sun River Prep School.
Oh, really?
Yep.
No
Okay.
way.
So I went there for 1 year, and then my senior year, I wanted to play football. I'd never played football before, and so I wanted to give it a try. So I transferred to Bend High School, and I did my senior year at Bend High, and that was it. So I went to 3 different high schools.
I was going to say wow. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So from Sprague to Bend to Sun River.
Sprague to Sun River to Bend.
Sorry, Sun River.
Yeah.
So, and you're a big guy.
I am a big guy.
What I was kind of chuckling about is we had Regan Smith from Smith Contracting in our building.
I grew up with Regan.
Yeah, and he he was like, and he's a tall dude too. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I know Daren. I was like, Well, yeah, no kidding. You guys are both like the same height. Like, thinking like, the big guys know the big guys. But, like,
All the big guys know the
It's
big
a club.
guys.
Yeah, I was like, because like I'm 6'2", I thought I was tall, but you guys are like what 6'4", 6'5", something like that.
I'm 6'6". I think Regan's pretty close to that too. His brother
Dang.
Trevor's tall too. So
So you grew up with Regan at Sprague then? Was
well,
he at Sprague?
he came. His family, I believe, was from Pendleton, and he came to Shirley sometime before Shirley was over in 6th grade. He's a year younger than I am.
Okay.
And so I remember him at Shirley, and then Judson, then Sprague, and
Yeah. So what can I just guess what position you played in football?
sure.
Outside linebacker.
No. I actually didn't really play much football. It's kind of funny. I was a golfer. I am a golfer still, and I was a golfer growing up, and so golf was my sport.
Yeah.
And of course, everywhere I went was always football. And then my family were all football players. My uncle was the head coach for the Seahawks, and my dad played for the 49ers and stuff. So
God.
I've got a long family lineage.
just got
of-
Did you hear that, Nat?
Makayla just got really
What
excited.
team did you say? The Seattle
Seattle
Seahawks?
I thought I heard Niners. Okay? I didn't
That was my
listen.
dad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm
And
a
so
big,
anyway,
I'm
so
a
when
big
He's a big
Seahawks
fan,
fan.
yeah.
that's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So growing up was always like, oh, are you related to Jack? Are you related to Jack? Yeah, he's my uncle. And
Okay.
So, but golf was my thing. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So you went from golf to football.
Well, I wouldn't say I never left golf. I stayed with golf, but I brought football in for just
Like
one
just to
season,
try-
just
yeah.
for fun.
But
I didn't really play much.
what was your
I was a
position
nose tackle on the defensive line, and so, but like I say, I didn't play very much.
Gotcha.
But the Oregonian actually did this big article on me because I was the biggest high school football player in the state of Oregon, and so, but they had a picture of me with a golf club, the fact that I golfed, and so, anyways, it was kind of funny. So
like the big, like the tallest and like the
and largest,
heaviest?
tallest, biggest.
Get out of here. That is crazy. Oh my
6'6", 350 pounds. So
god. Damn.
yeah,
That is
I'm a little heavier than that now.
that's still impressive though.
Yeah.
The biggest, yeah. So and you would have graduated. I'm gonna do some math here in the late 80s.
93.
93. Not my math's not very good. No, you've been 15.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So from there, where did you? Well, no one. Hold on.
Okay.
What I'm curious about your parents. Like, so what did your parents do to just like take you in the middle of the night and go to the
In the
center?
middle
was
of the night.
I was kidnapped.
In the middle of
No, it was, well, my dad had his own business also, so he was self-employed, and so he had that flexibility. And so when we moved over there, he would be with us for probably 3 or 4 days of the week and then come back over here. We kept our house in Salem.
Okay.
So he would come back over here and work for a few days. And so, but he had a chain of beauty salons throughout Oregon and Washington.
Okay.
And so he could kind of, he had his home base here, warehouse and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so it was kind of, I don't necessarily want to get into why we had to move to Salem that quick, but let's just say that never got caught. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just
I'm
just teasing. There was nothing illegal that I can talk about.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And then after high school, where did you end up?
So after high school, I went to Washington State University. Yep.
Okay, I got a lot of
And-
cougs in my life.
Yep. I went up there to try and play golf.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I went up there, redshirted for a year on the golf team, and then decided that golf was not something I wanted to do anymore. And so I transferred back to the U of O.
Yeah.
And I finished up college at the University of Oregon. So
Okay.
yeah.
You kind of like to bounce around in like high schools and colleges.
Tried hard to
huh?
pin me
Like,
down.
It's
Like
really-
yeah.
I'm still shocked. Like the biggest football player in the state of Oregon
That never played.
that never
never-
played. It's-
was that in the article?
Yeah. It's a great stat. Do you have the article framed?
I think it's at my mom's house. Yeah, she's got a laminated copy of it, and my buddies in college used to always tease me because they'd always be like, "Dude, you haven't seen the article? You don't know who this guy is?" Like,
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you're such a nice guy. And like it seems like you'd be the kind of guy that I would want to hang out with if I was in college. Like if there was a keg.
not now, but in college.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, not now, but of course now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like like if there's a keg or there's a party happening, like I feel like you're the guy who's just like you're there. You're like you got the tap like in hand.
I
and
can
you're
pick
just
the keg
hey.
up and carry it in the
Yeah,
house.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, my next question is like, were you a partier?
Yeah, I did definitely, when I was in college. I wouldn't say I am now, and all that. I do like to have a beer or two on the golf course, I suppose, sometimes. But for the most part, but yeah, when I was younger, In fact, so this is just kind of funny. So my daughter just finished her last final. She's graduating from the OSU, and she just took her last final yesterday. Okay. And so I told her, I said, don't go over to your house, over to your friend's house, and have a big screwdriver and then pound a bunch of beers and pass out under your stairs. You know, not
Good
that I would know
advice.
anything about
Not-
that.
you
Not that I
have
would
no
know anything
clue,
about that.
no
But,
clue.
You've said that a few times already, except. Oh man, that's interesting. And how many kids do you have?
I've got 3 kids.
3 kids.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Well, four kids technically, but you know, legally.
Okay,
But
legally.
yeah, 3 kids.
Okay,
I've got twin daughters that are 22.
Yep.
And then I've got a son that's just turned 15.
Okay.
And then I've got a daughter that'll be an adopted daughter that'll be 15 next month. She lives down with family in Arizona.
Oh my. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Twin daughters. That is.
Yep.
That sounds bonkers.
Yeah.
Could not imagine.
I should have brought my phone. I could have shown you guys pictures.
I would love to see see
Yeah.
a picture. So you ended up graduating from, so you said OSU?
U of O.
UVO, because you said your daughter went to,
Yeah, she just graduated or just finished yesterday.
UVO, okay. And what did you graduate with? What was your degree?
Accounting.
Oh, hey.
Majored
same.
in accounting.
Yeah.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah. Why did you go into accounting?
Because my dad said I should. So, you know.
That's such a great reason.
It took me a long time to learn that I could actually make decisions for myself in life.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest. So
Do you
Yeah.
feel like your degree has been helpful to,
I'm sure it
to
has.
your current career?
I'm sure to a degree it has. I mean, I do kind of some bookkeeping in our business. We have a bookkeeper who comes in and does the stuff, but you know, it does help to kind of understand what you're looking at when you're looking at numbers, you know.
Yep.
When Brian and I go meet with the CPA, it's still kind of like I'm still kind of explaining a little bit to him, like, you know, this number goes up, this happens, blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah. Wait, you explaining to Brian or you explaining to your CPA?
to Brian. Yeah. The CPA will say something like everybody just knows what he's talking about, and then I kind of like
You're like,
decipher it over
"Actually,
here.
okay, so-
Yeah.
I got my degree in accounting.
Okay.
And I did it
Where'd you go to college?
Denver University.
Oh, very good.
And the reason I did it, I mean, there's a multitude of reasons. The stock market crashed in 2001, a dot-com bubble.
Something like
and
that,
I was in finance at that
Okay.
point in time, and I just saw all these jobs just go, right?
Yeah.
And all these companies just go, you know, and I was like, I want to go like a safer route. And accounting is, there was a guy who's on my soccer team who was in accounting.
Okay.
And he was like, this is a no-brainer. Like
Yeah.
accounting is the language of business.
Yeah.
Like if you want to learn how to speak it, go do accounting. And I was like, okay, sweet. Sounds stable. My parents were both, you know, teachers, and I was looking for like stability, right? So I was like, oh, that's cool. But when I got into it, I was like, man, this is a lot harder than it looks,
Yeah.
right?
Not as simple as just like adding up numbers. Like,
No.
what are we going to call this number? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, right. What
Like
assets?
our CPA, you can't just call everything miscellaneous.
No, yeah.
You can't?
Or plug it all into marketing, which is
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of what we do on our
Yeah.
books sometimes.
Yeah. Fees, just it's fees.
Yeah, but it is interesting when you know how to read those financial documents. It is really empowering. But the funny thing is, like, I didn't know how to do it when I graduated. No disrespect to my accounting program,
Right.
But I didn't have I hadn't executed enough on like the
Yeah.
big picture, right? But now like in business and you know the day to day, it's like those P&Ls are very important. Like the bank needs those, like,
Right.
You know, if I want
And
to
what
get a
that
loan,
number says is going to be over here, and that's going to end up how much taxes you got to pay. And,
yeah. So after you got that degree, did you go into like public accounting, or what did you do?
No, I didn't. My dad, like I say, he had a business, a decent sized business. And so I went to work for him when I graduated, and I worked for him for a couple of years.
Okay.
And then he sold that company to a company called Regis out of Minnesota. It was, they're a big, beauty salons and things like that.
Yeah.
And so they were out buying up every little chain they could. And so anyway, so he was lucky enough to get to sell his business to them. And then I went to Willamette University for graduate school, and that's where I met Brian actually. And so
were you getting your
I got my
MBA, or?
MBA and my law degree.
Okay.
So I started the MBA program in '99.
Okay.
And then they do a joint degree program there, which you go 4 years and you get both degrees.
Yep.
And so then my second year was the first year of law school. And so I was walking up in the auditorium there, and it was packed, and there was one seat available right next to Brian.
Oh.
Brian was a quarterback in college, so he saw me and he thought I was a football player.
was?
Which
Yeah.
you were.
Get outta here.
You were a football player. You know.
Yeah, you would know, no
Thanks,
doubt.
Makayla, you're so nice. I really appreciate you. And so anyway, so he was I sat down, and like, no, I don't know anything about football. And then he kind of looked to the side, and then we discovered we both like golf. So that was good. We both liked golf.
Okay.
So we play a lot of golf together.
So that's what, okay, I was going to say, like, I'm just really curious when you look at like relationships, like business relationships, like how they form. And like, you guys seem like you're really solid.
Yeah.
Right. He's like yin to your yang, I can kind of like feel, right?
Right.
So
I always say it like this, like with Brian and I could probably walk in there and like say there was a dead body on the ground, and I would just kind of like skip over it and go to my desk, and I could do that like day in, day out, and I wouldn't really notice that I was stepping over a dead body, and then Brian would come in and be like, somebody died, and then I would like look and be all like, oh my gosh, somebody died, and that's kind of the way that we work. Like he usually like puts together a list of things. And I'm the one that like, okay, I didn't even think about that. Okay, great, let's do that. And then go do it.
So is he ideas, your execution?
I would say so.
Okay.
I would say so. I'm like, when we started our business, we had to do a lot of sales work. He did some sales work, but it was not something that he really enjoyed doing. And so anyway, I was the one who was out doing the sales work, and he was the one running the business. And and now we still kind of do that same thing. It works really well for us, because if it was not for him pointing these things out, I probably would never do them.
That's a great partnership.
Yeah. I mean, but if he tells me, hey, Daren, will you go pick up that dead body over there? I'll go pick it up. But I would not.
Are you asking questions?
like where should I put one? Do you have the space?
Or what happened?
He paid 10 years in advance.
Or you just know. Yeah, you just know what to do. Yeah.
It's just innate. I can see Makayla's going to be useful.
Yeah. Very, very much so.
Yeah.
She's picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Well, so did the partnership like immediately start there with, because Rapid is your first business together, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So did it just like start like you guys locked eyes and you're like, and we're gonna go golf and all this stuff, or was it like, then you had to get through school and all these things? Or?
Well, yeah, because I mean we had 3 years of school that we went to, but he and I would say that the friendship and all that clicked immediately. Like I remember that day meeting him, sitting down. They had a lunch like over on the lawn. We like walked over there together, ate our lunch, walked around. Like we immediately had a great kinship right off the bat.
This is giving me love at first sight.
Totally.
Just like you guys just knew.
Yep. And so, but we always talked about his dad was a state's attorney for California.
Okay.
So he grew up with a dad who was a practicing attorney. Brian was supposed to be a practicing attorney, but he didn't really ever want to go that route. And I didn't really want to practice. My dad owned a business, so like that's what people do, right? You just own a business somehow.
Yeah.
How are you gonna make that happen?
Right.
And so anyways, so then we talked about all different kinds of things through law school. I mean, every little idea we had, we would always be talking about stuff. And then when we got close to graduation, he was coaching a football team down out of Eugene, Pleasant Hill.
Okay.
And that guy knew a guy who was starting a franchise for ink and toner cartridges for printers and things like that.
Okay.
And
what
Brian,
year was this? This is out
of Eugene.
What year though? Is we talking about early 2000s?
This would have been 2003,
Yeah,
2002, 2003 would have been when it was. I'm not sure. Were you born yet?
Yeah.
Makayla? Okay.
Yes, I
You were
mean,
born in 03.
well, let's get that on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
I was born in 1988. Let's just clarify.
Okay.
I am technically an 80s
That was a good
baby.
year. That was a good year.
Yeah. You were, let me see, do the math, 8 plus 5, you were 13.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, good.
That was 4 years after 1984 came out. But
Yes. Oh gosh. No, we don't even want to go there.
But I'm pretty sure Walk Like an Egyptian. That was 87 though. I think was Walk Like Egyptian. So.
Oh, you think? Yeah.
But no. So that was 2003, and like I say, this guy that he was coaching with was like, oh, this seems like a great opportunity, blah, blah, blah. So Brian actually started working for him and helped him open the store in Salem. And then Brian came and told me what he was doing. I'm like, oh man, that sounds great. Like everybody prints, at that time anyway, not anymore, but everybody printed back then. 100%. And so we were going to open a store in Portland. And so we thought, well, let's open a store in Portland. Let's get this guy going in Salem, and then let's go to Portland and open a store. And then, so that guy, like summer of 2003 comes, and it's time to go back in August to go coach, and he doesn't want to deal with the store anymore. And so we approached him, and we ended up buying that store in downtown Salem, right across from your new building down there.
Up across from Forge.
The
So
Forge,
you're
yeah.
on Liberty?
We were 234 Liberty Street. So the
Yeah.
Thai Orchid now is in our old location.
Oh, okay. Okay. And the name of your business at that time was what?
Rapid Refill.
It was
yeah,
Rapid Refill,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Now it's Rapid Print. We might have changed it then. I can't remember. It's Rapid Print Solutions now. But,
Yeah.
technically. But anyway, so that was 2003, and so we bought that in October 1st of 2003, and
Okay.
we didn't really do. Everybody's always like, well, what kind of analysis did you do, or what kind of due diligence? And I'm like, we just kind of knew that people printed. We didn't really go check anything out, or
Was there like a franchise fee to pay?
there was,
Okay.
yeah, there was, and we were in that franchise for a long time, and it was not a good situation. And the guy who started it, I think he kind of just like built up this. Anyway, I'm trying to get anybody sued here, but kind of built up this facade and then sold it, sold like the dream.
Sure.
And so anyway, so that was until 2012. And then in 2012, a lot of the franchisees had died off and there was just a few of us left. And so then a few of us got together and we approached the franchisor about selling the company so we could get rid of it and quit paying them fees. So we did that, and I think by 2014 that was all paid off and done. So then we didn't have to worry about it anymore.
Right. So you had your own, and did you have just one location? Or
Well,
did you,
at one point we had up to 4 locations. So Salem's always been our main location.
Yep.
Store in McMinnville, Corvallis, and Albany.
okay.
And we closed the Albany store down in like 2011. It was just too close to Corvallis and Salem. Like there just wasn't. And when we started these stores, we thought that retail was going to be the answer, but it hasn't been. And so we go out and we do sales and we find customers and we service school districts and things like that.
Okay.
And then we closed down McMinnville in 2016. We realized, hey, we can still service these areas. We don't have to have an actual footprint there. And then during COVID, we shut down the Corvallis location.
Got it.
And so, and then that's about the time we moved into this building out of downtown. It
I was going to say, what year did you move into the 45th Parallel building?
That was in 2020. April.
Okay.
It was just a couple months after COVID started.
Okay.
You must have gotten a hell of a deal. On the
Yeah,
rent
I was
then.
We did, yeah, we did, yeah. The previous owner, he wasn't as savvy as you are, but
oh.
he gave us a song on this place.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
There
he
was
would've-
nobody here for like the first year and a half.
Yeah.
We were just
That
on
was-
our own.
Those were really tough,
Yeah.
tough times for sure.
Yeah.
And how I'm curious, how big of an employee base did you have at your biggest?
At one time, I mean, we had I think 18 employees
Okay. Yeah.
when we had all 4 locations and that kind of stuff. So
Moderate sized business, definitely.
Yeah.
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 That's a lot of people to worry about.
yeah.
And now where are you at in terms of employees?
Now we have 4 employees plus Brian and I.
Yes. Got it.
So
got it.
yeah.
And
yeah.
your core business is just you said print solutions, so ink and printers.
Ink and toner printers, mainly supplies and service.
Yeah.
But we do sales to a degree.
Yeah.
We don't do like the big copiers like everybody thinks of with that other places do.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of that. But anyways, we focus on desktop printing. So like in the school district, they might have a couple big copiers, but then they've got printers throughout the building, and so we focus on those printers.
When I think of like big copiers, I think of Office Space.
Oh yeah, totally.
I'm just like
Yeah.
I just like my brain just like goes there, just like
Printer,
just
PC load letter. What the
PC load letter. He just sticks the bat and just starts
Totally.
ramming on
That's
it.
a great scene. Yeah.
I feel like it.
That's been our lives for
Right.
a long
Like
time.
I feel like our generation, like Gen X, is just like, oh man, we're just that's how we feel about the office, right?
Yeah.
Just like being in the office,
Cubicles and all that.
And maybe that's why you went into business for yourself. Maybe that's why I
Yeah.
went into business for myself. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think, Makayla?
Yeah, I mean, I can say when I worked in the school district, we had a big one, like printer in the back
Yeah.
office, and every time like you go up to it and you're like, it like codes, and you're like, I'm just gonna take a
What does
baseball
this
bat
mean?
to it.
Like, can you
I
just tell me
don't
what
know.
it's speak English?
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it's like a code to get into it. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is so complicated.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like the flashbacks of The Office for sure. Like every time,
Yeah.
it's so iconic.
Yeah, totally.
But it's like, man, like in that day, like that's where we were, like paper. Like we didn't have like digital era hadn't come yet.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just
We had like floppy disks.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
literally
remember those.
just told, I don't remember who I was having this conversation with. I was like, oh, yeah, this was back in the day where you had to like print out MapQuest to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And they were like,
yeah.
what? And I was like, oh, yeah, no, like we didn't have navigation on our phone. You had to log into MapQuest and print your directions
That's
and then like page by
crazy.
page to like go anywhere. And I said, this was like, I was driving somewhere and I didn't know where I was going and I didn't have time to print it. And they just were like staring at me like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, no, you had to have a printer. Like you could not survive without one.
Right. I always make people laugh when I tell them I don't own a printer at home. Like,
Well, you have one at work though.
that's true.
So
Well, this will blow your mind, Makayla. So when we were younger, they used to have this big book that was about 3 inches thick, and it had phone numbers in it that you called.
Oh.
And when they were like, turn left at the, if you see the brown cow, turn left. Turn right on the second light.
I
Like,
was having to
I'm going to blow your mind for a second. I used to deliver phone books.
oh, seriously? Okay,
Yes.
very good.
And
Very
the
good.
She's got a lot of
newspaper.
talents.
Yeah,
I feel like we bring up a topic. She's like worked there.
I
or
know.
She's done
I'm
that.
trying to
like,
get like one up on her,
Yeah,
but it just isn't working. So
can't,
I'm just
no.
going to kind of slither back over here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, keep to
probably-
myself.
probably the best. Yeah.
He went silent about the second half of the email.
So now like with like you guys downsized clearly.
Yeah.
And now where you guys are at in this industry, how are you guys staying competitive with it being such a, it feels like it's just like it's an online game, right? And it's not as much retail. Like, so how do you guys, sounds like you have some contracts with the districts or?
We do, yeah. We have some contracts and agreements. We do a lot of work at like OSU and things like that. But a lot of it is that service aspect, the fact that we can fix the printers, because not many people out there fix printers, and most IT departments, I shouldn't say most, I would say all IT departments, throw it away and go buy a new one. Oh, it's not it. Throw it away and go buy a new one. And so once school districts and businesses realize like, oh my gosh, if we have a problem, we can call you. And if we're using your toner, you'll come out and look at it for free and just tell us what's wrong with it. And then we can maybe not have to go buy a new printer. And so anyway, so that's really a way that we differentiate ourselves from just, because a lot of people just go, you might have seen a clip that we had filmed where they, we talked about that on that clip that your guy Carlos did. But they go on Amazon and they buy something and it doesn't work. So then they only buy the genuine cartridges, and then they're paying a fortune and they're like, oh, we don't need this anymore. But with us, for instance, we've got a large customer of ours that we lost for a little bit. They're like, oh, we're going to go buy over here. We can buy them for cheaper. And then within about 6 months, he's coming back like, we want to do business with you guys because your cartridges worked and you fix our printers, because a lot of people don't realize that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you pay for services you need, right? And you also pay for like, good interactions. And I would just like assume you and Brian like are just good to work with. Right? I'm pretty sure if I'm like,
you're showing up to my business
I'm
because
like-
something needs to be done, I'm like,
score.
yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know it's going to get
We're
done.
going to get Makayla a bunch of printers.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You're going to get it
she
done, but
probably needs
also
one.
you just have like the best attitude. Like
Yeah,
you're fun and exciting to be around. Like I've never seen you not walk through the hallways smiling or like interacting.
I've been through a lot of trauma.
And those are the people and those are the people you want around, So
And I'm glad you brought that up because I am kind of curious. Like, meet somebody like you. You have really good energy consistently, and I know that's hard because we all carry things like in our daily lives.
Yeah.
Not all of us can have like a good day every day, but you seem to. It's like, is there a secret to that?
is there a secret?
Yeah, I want to know.
Like I say, I think you go through enough in life, and then pretty soon you're just like, you know what? Nothing really matters.
Yeah.
And I'm still walking.
Yeah.
And so it's like, anyway. But yeah, I think it's probably, I don't know.
So you just wake up every day and just choose to be like, today's a great
I love
day.
to wake up early, and I drink a lot of coffee.
Okay.
And then I have my breakfast.
So
and then
coffy, breakfast.
Coffee, breakfast, yeah.
And
Starting
then
the
we
day
all
off
get to be
right.
as happy as you. Perfect. Heard it here first.
if trauma's what it takes, I guess I need.
Like you
more
were talking about houses burning down.
trauma.
I've been through that.
Yeah.
I've been through a couple
yeah.
divorces. I've been through,
Okay. Yeah.
some
Some really
legal
heavy.
stuff.
Yeah, I got the trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, that's checking off some big boxes.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I don't think we're doing that on this podcast.
Well, I was
do a
debating
part
there,
two.
like which direction
like,
to go. I was
which
like,
way?
Yeah.
how do we dig into
Darren's
this? But,
traumatic
yeah.
past. Like,
This turns into a therapy session real quick.
Yeah, totally.
Daren and I are crying at the end
I
of
can
it.
help totally. Yeah.
Well, yeah, this podcast is part, self-help, and it's
Yeah.
it's part learning about
If it uplifts
businesses.
someone or gives them some encouragement.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I do feel like that's how you approach your day. It's
Yeah.
like just
Is it-
bring the positivity and if it helps someone.
And is there anybody that you like? Is there like a book you read, or like is there anybody like follow that you're like, this is where I've kind of modeled some of my, like just my feeling, my behavior, like.
I don't know that I have necessarily. I mean, I'm very strong in my faith.
Yep.
I am a Christian, and so I do read the Bible daily and pray daily, and so I kind of feel like, again, not like making a joke out of things from the past, but I do think like at some point you reach a point in life where it's just like, you know what, crap's gonna happen no matter what, and that's one of the promises that Jesus gives us, right? Like you're gonna encounter problems, but don't worry, I've overcome them, and I'm with you. And so I guess I just kind of always feel like, like I say, you get sued enough, you get through enough stuff, you lose a house in a fire and that kind of stuff, and then pretty soon you're just like, okay, I've got a car.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy Friday.
I can sleep here at the 45th parallel building if I need to.
Absolutely,
The
you
windows
can.
are frosted. You can't see what's going on
That's
there.
right.
Like,
That's right. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. It kind of gives us like a more of an idea of like why you are who you are.
Yeah.
I want to segue into Oregon Farm Fresh Snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How it was funny. I was going in the hallway like a couple of years ago, I want to say, and I ran into Brian. And Brian's great because he's like it can be like a quick interaction, or we can just like have like a long one.
Yeah.
And he was feeling talkative that day, and
Yeah.
it was like he was sharing with me, like I was asking about the business, and he was sharing things are going well, but he's like, oh, we started a new business and we're doing really well.
Yeah.
I was like, what business did you get into? And he started to tell me about like, we're packaging like hazelnuts, we're packaging these other things. And I was like, okay, like my mind was blown because it was like you're shifting like industries.
how'd you go from it?
I mean, my mind's blown because I'm learning about this right here, right now.
In
I didn't
real
even.
time. Are we getting the reaction
in
here?
real
Yeah,
life. I'm like, I had no idea this was happening.
It's recording, right?
Yeah,
We
exactly.
got this, right?
I mean, you don't get all this just from selling toner cartridges, right? Like you got to have something else you bring to the game.
That's
so.
right. That's
I mean,
right.
where was our snacks?
There's plenty,
I got plenty.
oh, we may need some.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to peddle some
We'll
of those.
sponsor the space.
Yeah.
Thank you. We could use a sponsor.
Yeah.
We don't have a deal yet.
Yeah.
So how did you guys get into that business?
So it's kind of funny. So, I don't know, 10 years ago now, we thought, oh, let's sell toner cartridges online. And so we went down this road. We actually paid a guy a bunch of money to build us a website. Like we were, fully going, can you edit that out? Fully going to sell toner cartridges online. And so we're talking to our vendors, we're talking to people building the website, we're, investing this money to do this. And then one day we're talking to this person and he's like, if you're going to be on the internet selling a product, you have to sell on Amazon. You can't be on the internet selling a product because, 70% of everything that's bought is bought on Amazon. And so we were like, oh, wow, like we had never thought about Amazon. Sure. And so then we start researching Amazon, and everybody and their brother is selling toner cartridges on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And unless you're buying containers of crap out of China, which most of the cartridges on Amazon are not great quality if you're buying the remanufactured. And anyways, and so we were like, man, how are we going to hit this price point? How are we going to compete? Blah, 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 after fees. So then that kind of turned into, well, we want to sell something on Amazon. What's it going to be? Mm-hmm. So we started selling cell phone cases and plugins and cables and screen protectors. And we sold little makeup sponges.
Okay.
Like we sold shaving brushes. We sold tons of stuff.
Okay.
Michaela's shaking her head, trying to figure out where is this going next.
Yes.
And then when I got out of prison,
there we go. That was the segue with you.
That was the segue.
No, and so we started selling just different knick-knacky things that we could find on Amazon, and we'd get our hands slapped and you can't do this, you can't do that. Yeah. And then finally one day, Brian was like, we need to find a product that we can sell that's consistent. Again, I would probably still be selling makeup brushes on Amazon if it wasn't for Brian.
Right.
And so he... So we had a friend of ours that had a snacks business. Okay. And so we went and talked to them and, hey, could you put our own logo on there? Could you put our own thing on there? And yeah, of course we can do that. We can do that. We can do that. Yeah. And so anyways, so that was right before COVID. So that was in the fall of 19 that we launched selling snack mixes on Amazon.
Okay.
And then COVID came, which was a huge, horrible thing, right? But grocery
you,
stores
yeah.
shut down and people couldn't. And so it kind of got a lift, like right off the bat. We had a pretty good little thing going.
I'm like,
and
that's when I made my jump to buying pretty much everything on Amazon.
where do you get your nuts and snack mixes, Makayla?
Actually, Amazon.
There you go. Look at that.
I have all my snacks delivered through Amazon.
So you're potential one of our clients. So
Yeah.
I'm going to send you the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Little
you
discount
tell us,
code.
Can you give us
Yeah,
the website while
yeah.
we're here?
Yeah, it's just farmfreshsnacks.com.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you type the HTTP and all that, or if it's www. I don't even know anymore.
No, you
I
just
don't-
yeah.
yeah.
These days you could just
Farm
start.
Fresh Snacks.
Yeah.
But how do you get it on Amazon? Or do you just ship through?
Everything's through Amazon.
It says farm fresh snacks.
Farmfreshsnacks.com. That's our website.
That's a great
The brand is Oregon
domain
Farm
name.
Fresh Snacks, and so on our logo there's a picture of a farm that we bought off of Fiverr. It's kind of good.
I bought a few logos from Fiverr.
We did a thing last fall up at the Amazon warehouse in Woodburn was launching.
Okay.
So they invited us to come up to it, and we were meeting one of the local dignitaries was up there, and they were really curious where the farm was.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian's like, well, I got a couple acres in South Salem. Anyway,
didn't have the heart to tell them that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no farm.
I think it's in Switzerland.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
We import. It's
Yeah.
it's fun. Great. So
So that was like the fall of 19 when we started that.
and how where are you guys at now? Have you guys like scaled it up, scaled it
Yeah.
back? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we've scaled it up, and like I say, it continues to grow, and people continue to use internet. We're looking at maybe other options and things. So it's been good.
Yeah, I know Brian's mentioned a few times that like there may be some other paths. You guys might be able to go get bigger and But so just so I understand, you guys made a connection with somebody who does all the manufacturing, and you're able to put your label on that stuff and start getting it sent out. And now, do you have the same relationship, or do you have like some sort of other manufacturing?
It's a different company. That guy retired.
Okay.
And so we now have a different company doing it for us.
Okay.
But they do exactly the same thing, and they were able to bring it into their fold.
and you just
And so we ship out, I don't know, a few pallets a week worth of product, and
who are you selling to? Who are your end users?
just customers of Amazon.
Yeah,
I
really?
guess.
So
Yeah.
do you ship things to Amazon and then Amazon ships it out?
Yes, Amazon does all the
Okay,
fulfillment.
so you just like send a bunch of product to Amazon,
Yep.
and then if you want to buy that product,
Yep.
then Amazon ships it
Amazon
out.
ships it. Yeah.
Is it 2-day?
The Prime, if you're Prime, yep. And it's funny because like when you think about Amazon has like this massive algorithm, right, where they're trying to figure out how to get a razor or a bag of Post-it notes. Like how do you get it the quickest? And so they take the products and they just put them all out in all these warehouses. So a lot of our product, we can look at a map actually and it'll tell us, we got 49 units of this in this warehouse, and then this warehouse here, we have this many units and that many units. And you can kind of see, and the business grows as you expand into more of their warehouses, right? Like if they can't get it to someone Prime, they're not really likely to promote your product in that area.
Yeah.
But we do sell a lot of stuff in like New York and New Jersey and stuff, but we're in those warehouses. But we might not be as much in the warehouse like in Nebraska. And
Do
so
you
we-
get to choose what
No.
warehouse? No, they decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
just given that it
yeah.
says Oregon, I would think that it would stay close, but I guess maybe you're a little bit more niche being
I think
in
they
Oregon.
I think people on the. In fact, I
Yeah.
remember years ago I went to Florida to visit my brother. He lives down there and his daughters, and they were really into that show Portlandia, which I had never seen before. And I showed up in these glasses with this haircut, and like, oh my gosh, you look so Portland. And I'm like, I don't really know how to take
like,
that.
what?
Yeah, I'm
but
not sure I like that or not.
Yeah,
it
I
could
don't
go
know.
either way.
Try not to, but
That's
once
really,
I get my Subaru again, then I will.
There you go. Well, that's really interesting, and I mean, the takeaway is like you have to be, for Amazon to like you, you have to be bigger. It sounds like, because you want to be you, literally and figuratively,
Yeah, because they want to know, like, if they're going to promote your product, do they have enough product to sell? Because I'm not going to go showing everybody your product and then find out they can't get it.
Exactly.
And so I do think it takes an infinite number of factors into account when it decides who they're going to show. So when we went up to that warehouse in Woodburn, it was insane. They've got 6,000. They have the most robots of any factory or of any distribution center on the West Coast. They have over 6,000 these little robots. They're all like 3 feet wide, 3 feet deep, about 8 inches tall, and they're picking up these pallets with like 8 shelves on them. And they're constant. It's like a sea. If you looked at it from down below, it would look like the ocean. like this, and those pallets are constantly going like this, and then they've got all these people around the outside that pallet rolls up to, and a little laser points and it says pull this item out, and then a laser shines over here and says puts in this box here. Like, you think about who formulated that to know that if like you ordered a razor, or I don't know why I keep saying razors, we both have beards, but anyway, I mean, I do shave my cheeks and everything. But it's like, it's just kind of mind blowing when you go see it. It really is mind blowing.
Well, I mean, you and I both drive past that fulfillment center like every day, and like my mind's blown because I think it's the sheer like number of square feet there, right?
It's like over 6 million square feet.
Yeah, I heard 10,
maybe 10,
but
try to remember. But yeah,
I mean, it is
crazy.
massive.
Huge.
It is like we have a 70,000 square foot building here, and it seems pretty big.
Yeah.
But multiplying that by 50, like that's incredible. Yeah.
Well, like I say, you think about, okay, so if Makayla's looking for a pair of fingernail clippers, which ones are we going to show her? Which brand has one that, because if she wants the 2-hour shipping, how are we going to get it from Woodburn to Salem in 2 hours? Like, you better not show them the one that's only in the warehouse in New Jersey.
It's true.
They got to show you the one that's in. So again, that I have no idea how it even works, but that algorithm has to be insane.
So if you provide them with more product, are you more likely to get?
That's what I think. More likely to grow. Because then they can put you
Growth
in more
from them.
distribution centers. They can show your product to more people.
Which I kind of don't like for small business, because I'm like, like now we're only treating like the big boys with like, the respect, and versus the little guy's going to have to like fight to get there.
Yeah.
But I really do want to try some of your product, because Brian's like, you can check out some of my product anytime, and I still have yet to get.
Yeah.
I don't think Brian's ever actually eaten our product because he's not a snacker. I have eaten way too much of our product.
Well,
so again, that's how we balance each other.
Yeah, can you bring me and Makayla some?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like hungry just talking about it.
Yeah.
I've got some back at the office when we're done here.
What's the highest selling stuff that you have?
Yeah.
What do you,
Our number one item, we've got two items. We've got toffee peanuts. For the longest time was our number one seller.
That sounds delicious.
We have a really good diced fruit mix that sells a bunch.
Like,
We've got a really good caramels also. Really good caramels.
check. I'll take
I'm like, it sounds great to me.
It's all really good.
Afternoon snack here.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question when it comes to Amazon. I have seen recently that they advertise if you are a small business on Amazon.
Yep.
Is your company labeled as such on
I
there?
believe so, yeah. Yeah,
'Cause
they
that
have all
has-
these different certifications. We don't qualify for most of them, but
Yeah,
the ones
because
that
I
we-
have seen, and it has led me to like pick up one product over another when it has
That's
that
good to know.
labeling on it of like, oh, this is a small bit. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna
Yeah, you want to support.
select that one over another one.
Because
So.
like to that, like 45th parallel, like we are the home for small business in Salem.
That's
and
awesome.
we love that tagline, but like I love supporting small business, and seeing businesses grow, and seeing like guys like you augment. Like how cool is that, taking a business and being like, okay, we've learned these things and now we're going to go into something different.
Yeah.
Like that's really cool.
Yeah,
Kudos.
it's really cool watching everyone in the building kind of transform, because you kind of see a little bit of shift in everyone's business when they come here, and it's really awesome that you guys were able to like kind of make a shift. Printers aren't as big as they were, and so you're like, what's next?
Right.
And everyone's gonna snack. Let's see.
Totally. People will
Snacking.
keep eating forever, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Until
know
they-
what? I think so.
Yeah. It takes food.
It does take food.
food,
You're right. I mean, that's something we can all agree on. Whatever you're on the left or the right, politically in the middle.
Yeah.
We all need to eat.
We all need
Yeah.
to eat.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the big thing.
Yeah.
So we're getting close to our time, but
wow.
I'm curious. I know. it
Did
goes
we
by
actually
quick.
get anywhere? I
We
feel
did right. We learned a couple data points from you though. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned I learned about things I didn't think I was going to learn about
I did.
today.
Like Amazon, check that box.
Yeah.
Oregon's
snacks,
biggest football
that there's
player.
snacks in the building.
Snacks in the building. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of to wrap things up, where are you and Brian headed? Like, what's your direction for your business? In like, if you were to look back, 10 years from now, where would you have wanted to go?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of an interesting question. I mean, I'd love to be able to continue to grow both of our businesses.
Yeah.
And maybe have a little more free time. Would be nice. I don't know that I ever see myself, retiring. I don't really have that in mind, but doing something that, would allow me some more flexibility.
See, I was going to say the right answer was still at 45th parallel.
45th parallel.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we'll stay here as long as we can. I mean,
Please, we
Yeah,
need you.
yeah.
We want you. But
yeah, like I say, I'm going to probably move in
yeah,
at some
well,
point.
well, I mean, we'll see if we can find a bed big enough for you. But, yeah, that'd be hard.
I've got a bed. I can bring it with me. so,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That works. So we don't have to Amazon fulfillment shipped out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Anything else we got for?
I don't think so. I mean, just
Daren?
thanks for coming today, and we look forward to trying the snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's-
And
We'll get some snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for being just a great
Awesome
tenant,
presence
and
in the building.
Yeah. Keep bringing the smiles. We need it. You
Yeah.
know,
I
and
try.
You're doing great. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
All right.